employment support event. As an initial introduction, obviously the reason for this event is the sad news around Midas going into administration that's affected a lot of people, and we recognise the challenging situation that individuals and supply chain members are facing. So we wanted to pull together to help. We want to know how we can best help you, as well as others not able to join us here today. So my role, I'm Doug Lloyd. I'm the host today and acting on behalf of the Heart of the South West LEP Construction Skills Steering Group, where I undertake the chair role. I'm also the regional director of Kia Construction, so I'm sure I would have probably come across quite a few of you before in the construction network. From a housekeeping point of view, I'll just ask you all to keep yourselves on mute if possible, unless a speaker or you're invited to speak after pressing the raise the hand button. Please share your questions and thoughts on the message board during the course of the morning and throughout the event, and we can pick these up in the Q&A section, which we've got sort of 20 to 30 minutes at the end of the presentations. The slides will be emailed out along with supporting information after the event, and also you'll see on the likes of LinkedIn, we'll be sharing these on websites so that you can get access to the information, and we'll also be recording the session so that others can dial in afterwards and watch it and hopefully get some good value out of the support available today. So from the programme that's up on the screen there and the purpose of today, it's being delivered by Building Plymouth, Building Greater Exeter and Building Torbay, and it's providing a joined up approach to support Midas employees, apprentices and also the local supply chain. We also welcome colleagues from the CITB, Department for Work and Pensions, National Career Service and the Lighthouse Club. We're going to share information today about the free support and help available to you all on a local, regional and national level so that you're best informed about taking the next steps and the options available to you. We're going to cover topics around helping to make introductions to employers, matching of jobs and apprenticeship opportunities, the support available for job searching, updating your CV and preparing for interviews, access to funding, tailored training to support individuals and for businesses, information about benefits and financial support, and also importantly, support for mental health and well-being. If we miss anything that's important to you that we aren't going to cover in those subjects, then please, as I said earlier, put the messages or put the questions on the message board, or put your hand up and raise in the Q&A section later. You can put your microphones off and cameras off, and we can have a bit of a discussion at the end. We want this session to be as helpful as possible and hopefully assist you in providing some really valuable information. So just to start on a really important subject to all of us, and it's when you have a bit of an unexpected circumstance and the reality of redundancy or uncertainty about your future, it's really important that you actually access support for well-being. There are locally and nationally amazing organisations like Mind who deal with just these sorts of issues that you may be experiencing in a time like this. And please remember, you're not alone. You just need to reach out. Please talk to colleagues, friends, any of us on this call. A lot of the time it's about talking to people to help. We're lucky enough to have specific support for the construction community through CIB Assist. There'll be some information that we shared afterwards for those who are members. And today we're also lucky to be joined by the Lighthouse Club, who are going to share some key messages and information about the support available to you. So I'd like to pass you over to Francine, who's going to talk you through some information from the Lighthouse Club. Are you muted, Francine?
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. So my name's Francine Ali. I'm the helpline manager from the Lighthouse Club. So we all know, as Doug said, in times of change where there's uncertainty, it can have a negative impact on your mental well-being. It can cause worry, distress, anxiety, or financial hardship. As a charity, we're set up by the construction industry to support the construction workers and their family members in times of crisis. Our mission is that we don't believe any construction industry worker should be left alone in a time of crisis with a problem. What we do is we support the construction industry with mental health well-being. We can provide financial support. We can provide training. There's lots of different elements to our charity that we can support the construction industry with. How we do that is we've got a 24/7 helpline, totally free and confidential. You just need to reach out for us for support. Our advisors are very passionate about providing support to the construction industry. whether it's a listening ear, you just want to speak to somebody, or if it's more professional support, we can put you in touch with counsellors. If you're struggling financially or worried about financial things like food or electric, we can help you with things like that. All you need to do is reach out to us. If you don't feel that you're able to speak to somebody over the phone, we've got a text service. You just need to text hard hat to the number that's displayed on the screen. We've also got a wellbeing app that we would encourage you to download. That promotes sort of more self-help, where you can look through the app for lots of different things to help your mental well-being. We've also got Beacons of Hope, local support that can provide peer-to-peer support, and also there's lots of different training courses that we can support you with on our website. All we would need you to do is take the first step, which can sometimes be the hardest part, and reach out to us. We are there 24/7 to support you. You just need to reach out to our advisors, and we can do the rest.
Thank you, Francine. That's appreciated. I'm now going to introduce you to the building family, which is Emma Hewitt from Building Plymouth and the Skills Lead for Plymouth City Council, Dawn Chamberlain from Building Greater Exeter and Project Manager for Exeter City Council, and also Helena Davidson from Build Torbay and the Build Torbay Skills Coordinator. So over to you, Emma.
Thanks, Doug. Good morning, everyone. Sorry to be here in these sort of circumstances, but actually I think it's a strength of this network and, you know, how we're not just colleagues, but we're friends and we care about each other. So, you know, really good to have many of you with us today. Just next slide, Jenny, if that's okay. What we've been doing since obviously the news emerged about the situation is we've reached out. You know, we are here to help in any way that you would find useful, and we would appreciate any feedback from today's session about what you might want to do next. And one of the things that I was really curious about is the volume of jobs available in and around, you know, the wider southwest as well as sort of the Plymouth area. And so we've pulled together a really top level summary of vacancies in construction. It's not a complete list by any sense of the imagination, but we've had amazing input really quickly from our Building Plymouth, Building Greater Exeter and Build Torbay networks, where it's really evident that we have got significant jobs. You know, we've got huge projects that are happening right across the peninsula, lots and lots of vacancies at all sorts of different levels. So perhaps in the Q&A session, I'll bring that document up and we'll share that with you post-event. But the diversity of roles that are available with our clients, with our, you know, main contractors, our tier twos, our consultants, as well as sort of the supply chain is really, I think, really, you know, motivating and encouraging in terms of, you know, amazing people that are coming out of Midas and the skill set that you have and the talent that we want to retain in the industry. So I just want to say there's all to play for there, and anything that we can do on the ground to sort of broker you into these opportunities, to be delighted to help. Next slide. Thanks, Jenny. So just going into our next slide, sort of Building Plymouth, and Midas has been a project sponsor of Building Plymouth for 6+ years. And I know Michelle's on the call, Paul's on the call, and you've both been absolute stars in supporting the development of Building Plymouth and could probably do this pitch for me. But it's just to say, you know, Plymouth and the Travel to Work Plymouth area, obviously actively working on all sites across the city. We've got an extensive local and regional network. We've now got 50 project sponsors who have significant job vacancies. And obviously we've got an open door there to push that, to bring people through if that's some of your areas of interest. We have our weekly pop-up job shop, and I think John's on the call, who actually staffs that for us, which is great. So we bring together all the job vacancies. We're looking at the big sites that are coming up across the city, and we'll be looking, you know, if you're in and around the city of Plymouth and want to work in that space, then please do use that job shop on a weekly basis to come through and see us. I'm really happy to circulate your CV directly to our network, and I know we've had some traction with colleagues on opening some doors there. So that's a really easy thing that I can do and other colleagues can do as well. So if you haven't already done so, please send your CV with a cover letter. And as I said, I'm really happy to get that out for you. Again, I can see loads of activity on LinkedIn, which has been really good. Sorry, Jenny, are we able to just go back? Just thank you. And if you know, I can help share, or you can sort of tag in our Building Plymouth and our different family areas, we can obviously reshare things as well. So, you know, keep that activity happening, and anything we can do to sort of engage and support you and your next steps, feel free to come through. Obviously, the Tuesday pop-up job shop is available, but I'm really happy to talk to any of you outside that forum as well. Thanks, Jenny. I think the next slide is taking us into Skills Launchpad Plymouth. So during the pandemic, we set up a one-stop shop in the city to support adults and young people with their next steps. So on our website, we have a vast range of virtual resources that you can access freely. And there's some links here on this slide deck. And the couple that I want to highlight, the resource bank. In the resource bank, it's very tailored to Plymouth, but it does contain some links to national sites as well. It talks about all the different job sites you can access. It talks about, you know, employability support. It talks about training and skills that's available for you. It talks about things like our job shops. It talks about loads of different angles on this to support you, and also sort of redundancy support as well. So please check that resource bank out. As I said, it's a really comprehensive, up-to-date source of lots of different information. There's also a piece all about you, and that's very much focused on mental health. So some of the agencies that Doug's highlighted earlier are represented on there. But if you're 25 years plus, we would really welcome, you know, you to sign up free of charge for a one-to-one tailored support through Skills Launchpad Plymouth. We're based in Barclays Bank in Armada Way in Plymouth, which is where our job shop's also hosted. So, you know, you can access things remotely, you can sign up for one-to-one support, and you can also pop in and see us as well. So different ways of engaging there. And if you don't live in and around Plymouth, some of these resources will still be relevant and helpful for you. Next slide, thanks, Jenny. If we've got any younger members under 25 on the call, we've also got our youth hub. And again, we've got specific resources for young people. You can sign up as a member, one-to-one for tailored help. And of course, you can come in and see us at Barclays Bank. It works very much the same as the Adult Hub. We've got Resource Bank in there. There's also a lot of information about apprenticeships, which I think is on the next slide, Jenny. Thank you. So again, if we've got any at-risk apprentices on the call or listening post-event, we do an apprenticeship bulletin every 2 months of all sectors across the city in and around Plymouth. There's a significant volume of apprenticeship opportunities in construction at all sorts of different levels, from the trade side, technical and professional levels as well. So I encourage you, we released our last one the beginning of this month for National Apprenticeship Week, and there's loads of vacancies in there that could be attractive. And we've got some specific guidance around securing an apprenticeship on our link there. Thanks, Jenny. And I'm going to hand over to Dawn now to talk about the sort of support from Building Greater Exeter. Thank you.
Thanks, Emma, and good morning, everyone. And Building Greater Exeter was set up just over 3 years ago now, and modelled on Building Plymouth's success to support the construction sector in the Greater Exeter area around employment and skills. So we're here to help you. Midas were a partner of ours from the very beginning. Michelle sat on our steering group, and we really want to support you in any way we can, connecting you to job opportunities or training. So we have a number of resources readily available on our website. One, if you're thinking maybe of upskilling or training for something new, is our construction training directory. And this contains all of the local training courses in colleges across the area, and there's over 250 there, and there's lots of detailed information should you choose to study. There's also opportunities if you wanted to go into training, and through Exeter College and through their adult education training program as well. And the key one probably here is our job shop. So that's all available online, lists all the the opportunities in the local area, not only job vacancies, but also apprenticeship opportunities and training opportunities. And every Wednesday, we hold the job shop face to face at Exeter Works in the heart of Exeter. So you can pop in and see us, or anytime. As Emma said, we're always, Jenny and I, very happy to take your calls or email us. All the details will be sent to you, and all these links will be sent to you post the event. And at Exeter Works, so there's additional support for you there. It's a partnership between Exeter City Council and Exeter Chamber of Commerce, and there are a number of organisations from across Devon, and you can make an appointment, pop in and see them, and they can help you from everything from redundancy support to finding a new job, CV, skills, and there's also the Youth Hub for Devon there as well. So any young people on the call can pop in there, and there's lots of dedicated support available to you. Right, I'm now going to hand over to Helena from Build Torbay.
Hello, could I have the next slide, please, Dawn? Jenny? Hello, my name's Helena Davison and I'm from Build Torbay, which is a relatively new initiative, again, set up to emulate the success of the projects in Building Plymouth and Building Greater Exeter. So we've only been going since September. We don't have a dedicated website yet, but all of the vacancies that Emma has been collating will be available on the resources that will be publicised through these meetings. Now, Midas had a lot of contracts in Torbay. Torbay's a relatively small area, but Midas did hold a lot of the contracts. And as the new contracts are awarded to people taking over, I'm meeting the new contractors and we'll be able to share vacancy availability with you through this group. Yesterday, I met Brady Construction, who've taken over the new paint and hotel sites. They've taken on some Midas employees already, but they did say that they are likely to need to take on some more. So again, be in touch with me and I can make sure that those vacancies match with your skills. The online skills resources that Dawn and Emma have been publicising for a number of years now are of course relevant to Torbay residents as well. It's just that we haven't publicised them yet, so all of those resources are applicable to all of the areas. Torbay is going through a massive transformation. We've been successful in bidding for a lot of regeneration funding over the last couple of years. So we're expecting £236 million worth of regen projects taking place on the ground over the next coming years. So we will need skilled construction workers to complete these projects, which is why Torbay Council have set up this position. As you can see by the vacancy list from this meeting, there are a number of vacancies with the TDA group, who is the council's arms of the development arm that manages regeneration projects. It's a good organisation to work for. By applying for the jobs in the TDA, then you know you'd really be part of the transformation of your own local area if that's where you live. And lastly, if you are one of the Torbay residents living within that the TQ 1 to 5 zones and you wish to start up your own construction business, or in fact any business, you are entitled to contact Kim Thornton, our business advisor. It's a fully funded programme of business support advice, and you'll have one-to-one sessions helping you to get your own business off the ground. And again, you can be in touch with me. Sorry, Jenny, can I go to the slide before again, please? My email address is helena.davison@tda.uk.net. So I look forward to hearing from any of you.
Thank you, Helena. Dawn and Emma, I think those slides show the strength of the network in our patch, and I would encourage you all to reach out to all three to get some support, because the links they have into the private sector and the opportunities and the jobs available are just fantastic. And to be honest, I was taken back when I saw the list of jobs that came out, and it just shows there's a huge amount of opportunity out there, and you'll all be adding great value to the prospective employers. So please reach out. I'm now just going to pass you over to Lawrence and Jacqueline from the CITB to take you through the next part of the event.
Brilliant, Doug, thank you. Morning, my name is Lawrence Stone. I'm the Customer Engagement Manager for the Southwest for CITB, which is the Construction Industry Training Board. I'm also joined today by one of my colleagues, Jackie Rawlings. So what we've done, we've broken down the support into those for displaced apprentices and those for employers. Next slide, please, Jenny. So in terms of the apprenticeship support, we've dedicated a single point of contact for any displaced apprentices, which is Jackie. Jackie's contact details are through that link there. What she will do is meet with all of you on a one-to-one basis and sort of establish your needs, which course you're on, which training provider you're currently on, how far you've progressed through your apprenticeship and so on. If need be, she can help you identify and work with alternative employers. If that is the case, you can also work with the training providers to make sure that transition to the new employer is very smooth. She can introduce you to on-site hubs, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but they are CITB funded projects which combines employability skills with on-site experience to take on apprentices, but also staff as well. And if necessary, she can link you into the shared apprenticeship scheme. So we've got several shared apprenticeship schemes, one across the Southwest, but also others around the Bristol area, and very, very good for taking on apprentices for a short period of time. So, for example, if you're almost completed your apprenticeship and you just need a further 6 months, the shared apprenticeship scheme is a very, very good way of doing that. There's a link there to Talent View. So Talent View is a sort of one-stop platform that's been developed by the Civil Engineering Contracting Association, CITB, but also the Construction Leadership Council. And what that does, that advertises a number of different apprenticeships there. What you can do is upload your CV and you can apply for their different apprentices. Travel to train in the sort of unfortunate event that you do need to travel elsewhere, even in terms of your employer or in terms of your training provider, CITB will cover the costs. So we will cover 80% of the accommodation costs, and any travel costs that exceeds £30 a week, we will also cover those costs. And then again, there's just a link there to Go Construct. So if you are thinking of possibly changing career, or you've decided to sort of go down a slightly different route, there's lots of different examples there and case studies and links and so on. Next slide, please, Jenny. In terms of employee support, a lot of this is around the Construction Talent Retention Scheme. So again, this is a sort of newly developed platform. It is developed with CITB, the Construction Leadership Council, but also the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy as well. It is a very, very straightforward platform. At the moment, there are 510 vacancies across the Southwest advertised. What I'm sort of working on behind the scenes is to get a full breakdown of those roles for you, so we know exactly where they are and exactly what those roles are. It is a very, very straightforward platform, but what we will do, if it helps, is that we will deliver online sessions, or we will visit you in your workplace to actually go over that platform and help you apply and help you search on that as well. We've got a number of on-site experience hubs. So we've got one that covers the west of England, so Somerset and Devon, west of England, half of Southwest, Gloucestershire, and also Cheltenham and Swindon and Wiltshire. And what these do, they take on people into new roles and they combine training with these new roles. So what I've put there is a little link. So if you are seeking employment in one of those areas, what you can do is contact me and I will put you in contact with that hub lead. What we've also got is our own employer network. So across the Southwest, we work with 2,000 employers at the moment. And what we're asking is for those employers to send any vacancies to us. So what we can do is obviously share those vacancies through forums such as this. But also, if you want to contact me direct, we can make sure that we send those vacancies to you. And next slide, please. And then just finally, that's obviously the support we can offer. But if you feel there is anything else at all that would help, even if you just want to chat about things, then please do feel free to either contact myself or Jackie. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. And now I'll pass you over to Davnet, who's also supported by Leon from the Department for Work and Pensions. You're muted, Davnet.
I'm just sitting there thinking the same thing. Sorry about that. Thanks very much, Doug. Good morning, everyone. My name's Davnet Van Tinteren and I work for Job Centre Plus. So we're part of the Department of Work and Pensions. My role is coordinator for our local response to redundancy in Devon and Cornwall, and I'm going to very briefly run through what support available is available from Job Centre Plus. And Leon, who works in our Exeter office as one of our employer advisors, is on this call as well, and will be doing his best to answer any questions if you've got anything that you want to pop in the chat. While I'm talking to you, if I start saying RRS, that's short for response to redundancy. So just in case, so you don't get muddled. You'll see on the screen a PowerPoint with links to the web pages and the sites that I mentioned. The first thing that people think of mostly in relation to Job Centre Plus is benefits. So I'm briefly going to discuss those here and then move on to wider support available, both from us and a bit of support of what's available from our partner organisations. There are two benefits that you can claim as a job seeker, and these are contribution-based New Style Job Seekers Allowance and Universal Credit. And there are other benefits, for example, Employment Support Allowance if you're not able to work because of ill health. If you need more information about other benefits, then search gov.uk for Browse Benefits, and that'll bring up the information on all benefits, and you can poke around in that. And if you search gov.uk for benefit calculators, that brings up tools which allows you to see what you might be entitled to. All benefits are claimed online, and they're all claimed through the gov.uk website, and the link to that is on the PowerPoint. I'm going to just talk about New Style Job Seekers Allowance and Universal Credit, and I might abbreviate those down to JSA and UC while I'm speaking. Contribution-based Job Seekers Allowance is based on national insurance contributions, and it's the contributions you've paid in the last 2 complete tax years. So if you were making a claim to Job Seekers Allowance today, the tax years that they'd be using to calculate it will be April 2019 to April 2020 and April 2020 to 2021. And if you've regularly paid national insurance during those 2 years, you'll almost certainly be entitled to Job Seekers Allowance. JSA is a personal benefit and it's not means tested. It's only affected by occupational pension you might receive. So it's not affected by any income of your partner. It's payable for 6 months, and claiming it means that you're also awarded a national insurance credit which covers you for your state retirement pension and also for any other state welfare benefits. The other benefit, which is universal credit, is means tested, and it takes into account all income and capital, including that of your partner. And it can remain in payment after you've started work again, but it is reduced by earnings and obviously other income and savings and that sort of thing. When you're awarded universal credit, that gives you a class 3 national insurance credit, which covers you for your state retirement pension, but it doesn't cover any other benefits. If you need to claim benefits for family members, then you should make a claim for universal credit as well as job seekers allowance. And more detailed information about benefits is online at gov.uk and with the link on that PowerPoint. One thing that it's important to remember is if your redundancy payment is going to come from the redundancy compensation scheme, you need to be aware that they will reduce your compensation payment by any amount of income, by the value of income related benefits that you're entitled to, whether you get them or not. So you need to put in a claim and get a decision on whether or not you are entitled to those benefits. So that you can make sure that any compensation payment that you get is right. And further information about the redundancy compensation scheme is on gov.uk, and you can search for that by typing in redundancy payments from the Insolvency Service. Don't delay making your claim for benefits. They're very rarely backdated, and it's only possible in certain circumstances. Wider sources of information and support. You may have been sent these already, but we produce in Devon and Cornwall local information packs for residents affected by redundancy, and these are all hosted on the Inclusion Cornwall website, including all the Devon versions, and the link to that is on the PowerPoint. There's 4 different versions. Support differs very slightly between local authority areas, so we've produced the 4 different versions, and you need to choose the one that covers the area that you live in. they work online, and you can print them off. If you're reading the online version, you can click on the hyperlinks and it should take you to the sites that are mentioned. They cover a huge range of subjects, but specifically towards the back, you'll find a list of construction agencies that handle recruitment across the Southwest. Also on the Inclusion Cornwall site is a frequently asked questions sheet, and that gives basic information around benefits, and so you might find that helpful to start there. If you live in another geographical area to Devon and Cornwall, then there are national information sheets, and you can obtain those by emailing the National Inquiries inbox, National Response to Redundancy Inquiries inbox, which is rrs.inquiries@dwp.gov.uk, and that's on the PowerPoint as well. The national sheets are available both in English and Welsh, because I do know that Midas was operating sites in South Wales. The email address is in the PowerPoint for that, as I said, and the people covering that inbox will aim to answer you within 48 hours. If you need a more tailored advice, you can pop that in the email as well, include your phone number, details of your question and your postcode. And they'll forward that on to the area that you live in, and you'll get a reply to that inquiry. Response to redundancy support differs for England and Wales. To that end, there are 2 online videos for people to access, one for England and one for Wales. And they detail, they're much more detailed about what support is available than what I'm able to cover here. And the links to those are on the PowerPoint as well. I would recommend that you watch whichever one is most relevant to you. They're really helpful. We work with partner organisations like the National Careers Service, who are also here and going to talk to you. We can help you with CV skills, interview skills and techniques. We can send you, if we between you, your advisor and you're discussing what support you need, we can access a lot of support through our partner organisations. So that's another advantage of coming and working through the job centre with us. We have a website called Find a Job on gov.uk, and the details of that are included in the PowerPoint, and that sweeps several of the larger employment websites for vacancies as well and brings them all together. So it's possible also on that site to refine any search you do by sector, area that you live in, or keywords. We can help with signposting you to training, either with other organisations and partners, or in certain circumstances we can fund training ourselves. There are conditions that apply to job centre funding. Any training's got to be work focused. So in other words, it's got to link to real-time available jobs in your travel to work area. And there are limits on the levels of qualifications. We can't fund higher than level 3. So we wouldn't be able to help with things like academic qualifications or aspirational training. Response to redundancy support from the job centre specifically is available for 13 weeks after you've been made redundant, depending on your circumstances, but it's not dependent on you being in receipt of any benefits. If you do get back into work quickly, it may not be appropriate for us to continue to work with you. But you can always ask and see what's going on, and the way to contact us and find out about whether or not you would be able to help would be to email that central inquiries inbox. If after 13 weeks you're still not in work and are still in need of support, the job centre, your work coach in the job centre can also help you with funded training if necessary and that sort of thing. So there's lots that we can help with. There's a lot of information on gov.uk in the skills toolkit, and the links for that in the PowerPoint as well. On that site you'll find that there are a number of organisations that offer free training, so that site is really worth exploring in some depth. And there are also a number of boot camps running now which offer qualifications for a range of sectors, including construction, and there's a lot of others as well. And the link to the boot camps are again on gov.uk and included in the PowerPoint. Funding and support it for training in Devon, you can contact Serco, and you can contact them through the Job Centre. And I believe the National Careers Service may be able to give you some more advice about contacting Serco as well. But you can contact them to see if they can support you with funded training. And also in Cornwall there is the People Hub, which is available at hello@peoplehub.info, and they also are have a budget available for people who need support for training, and they also offer a number of other things that other sorts of support. Irrespective of where you live, after you've watched the webinar, if you need any more help, email that inbox and I'll just ask your question. And lastly, Job Centre Plus in Devon and Cornwall. We are actually hosting 2 jobs fairs in March. There's one in Exeter on March the 22nd, and in Truro the one is on March the 11th. And at both of them there will be representatives from the construction sector work there. So Leon, have you got anything you wanted to add to that at all?
Only, this is what we do in regards to helping people when they find themselves out of work, and we like to think that we offer a very welcome to people that come, if they do feel like they need to come into our job centres are all open right across Devon and Cornwall, and you will get a very friendly welcome and someone there to sit down and talk to you about any questions or queries you have. If you find that is something that you would prefer to do, is doing something face to face, and obviously if you do find yourself making a claim for benefit, obviously you will have a dedicated work coach and a team around them that support them. I work on the employer side of things, so that's what we do. We make sure that people receive the benefit they receive, but most importantly we also are there to help people move on and move into their next job. So you aren't on your own. We're here to help you. That's pretty much what I'm here to say. Thank you.
Thanks very much, and I hope that's been some help. I know it was a bit of a whiz through, but I hope it's useful to you.
Thank you, Davna. Thank you, Leon. And yeah, as I said earlier in the presentation, really, this slide deck will be issued out to everyone, so the links will be available to you to click on and access those elements run through there. I think it's a good point to raise around Midas covering Cornwall, Bristol, Wales, and further afield as well. And with regard to the building community in those areas, again, you're touch with those locations. Who's I think joining via Rosie's camera from the National Careers Service.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew. I'm the area manager for the National Careers Service in the Southwest. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present these slides to you today. I'm just going to very quickly go through a whistle-stop tour of how the National Careers Service can help you in this unfortunate position you find yourself. We're a free-to-use service. The best way to access our service currently, you can see our website on the slide there, nationalcareers.service.gov.uk. You can call us on 0800 100 900. You can book an appointment through Exeter Works, and you can also book an appointment through your work coach at the job centre. So just very quickly going to go through some of the things that we can support you with in the position you find yourself. If you could go on to the next slide, please. Okay, so I have to be honest, one of the main reasons that we support customers is with CV creation, review and development. I think your CV is probably the least worked on document that you have, especially if you've been working for an employer for a long time. You probably need to make some changes and update it to appeal to employers in the local area in the current circumstances, because it's a very busy market out there for recruitment. Another thing that we support with mainly at the moment is interview skills. A lot of people are using Teams for the first, second, third time. So to present yourself in the best possible way on an interview, we can give you all the tips and the tricks that will help you survive and get through that. The way that you search for jobs has changed quite a lot. I think the days of being able to walk up and hand somebody your CV and see if they've got any opportunities, it doesn't exist quite as much anymore. Some construction sites you're still able to do so, but most now will divert you to an online process. So again, we support lots of people with that. Self-confidence, motivation. If you're looking at changing sectors, you might want some help to understand what transferable skills you have, and where you can update them, or in fact start new skills, very much so with things like skills boot camps, the government's right to retrain. If we can't find something to support or resource your needs, we would signpost you on to other organisations. Okay, if we could go on to the next slide. So we do have a very functional and simple to use website. So if anybody wanted to go on and self-serve and have a look and just do things at their own pace, there's over 800 job profiles, which give you information about other job roles if you are thinking about moving sectors, things like the salary, the wages, what long-term career plans you could have in that sector. We do a skills assessment. This is a 3-hour process, so you'll need plenty of time if you're going to go through this, and it helps you identify your skills, your strengths, and it helps you to match those to other job roles in other sectors if you can't find the job that you're looking for. And then finally, just some advice on how to get on with the different stages of job searching, including how to improve your interview and CVs. So again, you can self-serve to get that advice on our website if you like. Okay, on to the next slide, please. Okay, so most of our customers, they come to us with a small need or a small barrier, and then once they've had their hour appointment with a level 6 careers advisor, we then start to develop lots of different areas and sometimes barriers that people didn't even know they had. You get 12 months with the service, so if you want some help with your CV now, and then in a month's time you feel that you need some help with your interview skills, perfectly fine. It's still free 100% for the full 12 months. We do check in with you, we keep up to date, we make you aware of any other extra provision and resources that are available. Because of COVID, we're in a fast changing environment, and some of the resources are popping up and they're limited numbers of people that they can support. So if you're not there ready to act straight away, sometimes you can miss out just because they're so popular. One thing that we do like to do with our service is constantly get feedback from you, and that does help us improve. So yeah, the contact remains throughout those whole 12 months. Okay, if you'd like to go on to the next slide. So that essentially is the National Careers Service. There's some information here of how you can contact me directly, the website, the free phone telephone number. But I must stress, we're in Exeter Works here all day today. So if you want to pop in and have a chat about anything, it's a nice relaxed atmosphere. You can come in and speak to somebody one-to-one. Of course, you can speak to your work coach, and if they feel we're the relevant partner, they'll book you an appointment with us, or you can contact us individually on your own. Very worthwhile service. I would recommend anybody that's in this position to take an hour, have a chat with one of our careers advisors, because some of the advice they can give you can be very, very valuable over these next few weeks and months. Thank you.
For that, Matthew, that's appreciated. I know the CV writing is a really important aspect of that, and I've actually spoken to a few ex-Midas employees who haven't had to write a CV because they've been there for 25, 26 years. So I think that service is really, really important, so thank you for that. I'm going to hand you back now to Emma and Dawn, who are just going to talk you through some of the information available to you on local skills support and training.
Thanks, Doug. And just picking up on Matthew's sort of update, and Davnet picked up on it as well. There's an extraordinary amount of skills support and training and qualifications and courses that you can access, much of it free. So during this time where you are perhaps thinking about your next steps, you know, there is a chance to access fully funded training, which can give you those extra skills to add to your CV, and maybe do some of those things that you've always wanted to get round to doing, but never had the time. So it's just really, Dawn and I are just going to sort of gallop through a few of the local kind of programmes just to make sure you're aware of them. And we've got some follow-up information, more details will come through on the support and information a bit later. But Serco are offering skill support for redundancy. So you are eligible if you're in this position for a sort of 3-month period. So I would recommend you have a look at that provision quickly. And if there's anything that's of interest to you, why not grab it and take advantage of that sort of fully funded opportunity. Next slide, Jenny, please. There's quite a bit of information around opportunity for sort of leadership, supervision, management skills training, and there's some sector specific stuff, or maybe it's a chance to polish up on some of the kind of maths, English, digital skills that again might help you in next steps. So that chance to upskill is available there free of charge for you in your current situation. So do sort of check that out, and the links will be made available to follow. Next slide, Jenny, thanks. Alongside this, there's some fully funded training available to those in Devon. So it's only for people that live in Devon through the Smart Skills initiative as well. And again, there's a breadth of opportunities for courses around project management, leadership, management, coaching, mentoring, digital marketing, and it goes on. So again, a free opportunity. Please do check out. I've got a big sort of supporting leaflet that will come out with the information afterwards, and it's an extensive menu for you to have a think about. It also covers employability skills, and there's also some focus on sort of self-employment as well, if that's something that you're considering. Thanks, Jenny. Next slide. From a kind of Plymouth perspective, On-Call Southwest has a range of provision for those that live in the city and travel to work area, covering sort of digital skills, maths and English functional skills, lots of e-learning opportunities at level 2, employability courses, and also we can do some bespoke sessions for individuals. So if any of you are based locally, I'll be delighted to hear from you, and just, you know, we could organise some specific focus sessions on CV writing, applying for jobs, or whatever that might look like for you and your situation. So just to flag that for people that are kind of Plymouth locally based. Thanks. And now I think I pass over to Dawn, if I remember. Yeah,
Great.
I'm going to hand over to Dawn now.
Thanks, Emma. And there's just a couple of opportunities I wanted to bring to your attention today. One of them's around retrofit, so a really critical area for the industry if it would help us reach our net zero carbon targets. There are a variety of skills and roles in this area, and there's such a high demand for them. So the good news is there's fully funded training and qualifications available at the moment. The opportunities are there, but we will share this information so you can read it in detail with all the links. And the other opportunity is around construction grants. So next slide, please. And there's lots of grants for construction sector at the moment. So maybe you're considering starting your own business, or potentially if there's any supply chain on the call today, if you're a new business and you've been operating for less than 3 years, there is cash available to help with issues you're facing. So we will share these flyers and information for you, but it's just to let you know there are plenty of opportunities out there and readily available to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Emma. So we're on to the Q&A section now. So if you want to raise any questions, feel free to put your hand up, put your camera on and fire it at us, or alternatively, if you want to put it on the message board. I've not seen any questions on the message board at the moment. So I don't know, Emma, if you wanted to whilst people want to think about questions if they've got any, if you wanted to share the vacancy list that's going to be published along with the this set of slides.
Of course. Can you see this on the screen, Doug?
Yes, I can see that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So as I said, we've gathered a whole list. We've organised them A to Z from the company name, and these vacancies are available widely. And we haven't done too much in Cornwall, but as was mentioned earlier, there are 500 plus vacancies in that area as well. But I'm just going to sort of, I suppose, just take you through just so you can get a sense of employers looking for vacancies. So there's a significant amount with Babcock in Plymouth. So as some of you may be aware, we're basically rebuilding the Devonport dockyard. So we need huge amounts of construction expertise from the client perspective. So again, might be a different angle for some of you to have a think about, but you can just see the volume, and these aren't singular vacancies, they're plural. So a good opportunity to think about maybe a different side of the fence from a contractor end. We've got Bailey Partnership here with specific opportunities. We've got BAM right across the pitch there as well. Barrett's have got a load of different roles across different sites. So lots there available. This is more local in Plymouth and more the trade side, but again in high demand. Cavanagh Homes, again some specific opportunities. We've also got some of our further education colleges promoting opportunities for teaching staff, and there are no barriers if you were interested in thinking about a complete career change, but actually utilising your industry knowledge for further and higher education. CallServe, so these are based, as you can see, down in Cornwall, so there's significant job roles, vacancies down that neck of the woods, which may be of interest to some of you. Creative construction, a whole range of opportunities there. Again, other clients, Exeter City Council there have some opportunities. Exeter College have some teaching related opportunities in this field. Lots of administration jobs. Ian Williams, you know, lots of opportunities. I was on the call to them yesterday. Lots going on across the piece there. Gem Scaffolding. Kia BAM, again, this is related to the project down at Devonport Dockyard. So we're looking for some skilled people coming in there. Funny enough, there's Kia. So Doug's actively recruiting. So you know the person on the call there, and Doug's like personally able to speak to you about those opportunities. Live West have got a huge range of opportunities right across the peninsula. They were in so many different locations, didn't have a chance to update that yesterday, but you can check those out. MBS there, again, a range of sort of particularly trade related. Nevada Construction's looking for an estimator. From a Plymouth point of view, again, we've got a massive rebuild for the hospital, so there's lots of procurement roles. I know, I think Glenn's on the call today. You know, maybe yourself and your team could contact Pippa if that's of interest. I think we all work in this sort of remote world now, so actually being physically in different locations, particularly for the business support functions, is probably not as it used to be. QS roles, Oberdare, again, some roles there. Plymouth City Council, again, we've got some really interesting projects right across the sort of housing team, into the regeneration area, into our strategic project team, and actually I've got some vacancies in my team as well. So again, that might appeal if you'd like to join the fun world of building Plymouth and Skills Launchpad Plymouth. Plymouth Community Homes, a whole range of opportunities there. Princess Yachts, I know they're not construction, they're manufacturing, but I was down there this week and they've got a whole range of vacancies that are applicable to the skills we've got in our world. So they want an army of carpenters, for example, coming through, building these fantastic super yachts. So just included that as well. RM Builders, again, some roles there. One of the recruitment agents, Set Squares, sent forwards a list of vacancies right across the peninsula as well. Shared Apprenticeship Service, so I'm a board director of this service, obviously supporting apprentice, and we're looking for a business operations manager that can work from home. Ideally, if they know construction, that's even better. South Devon College have got a range of lecturing opportunities there. that again would be applicable maybe to some people. South West Highways have some opportunities. I know John's on the call as well. So there's a breadth of opportunities there across the piece. SSG, Elena mentioned earlier, the TDA, you've got a load of roles there that could be of interest. Focus Training Group, again, looking for assessors, trainers. And Tunston West, again, you know, a new mining operation reopening on the edge of Plymouth. They've got significant focus on the aggregate side of construction, and they've got a whole range of jobs to fill that could be a bit of a slight change in direction career-wise, but you know, really well-paid opportunities there with Tunston West. University of Plymouth, looking for a building fabric civil specialist. Vistra Partnerships, again, working right across the peninsula, got a whole range of different jobs there that might be of interest. Wilmot Dixon, again, some opportunities there. And YGS Landscapes, looking for an office manager. There's also a whole raft of apprenticeship vacancies that we've touched on. So a whole list coming from Greenlight right across different geographical areas. We've got our latest vacancy bulletin there, so do check that out if you are looking at the apprenticeship side. And then there's loads of sort of useful links, including the sort of jobs link to Hinkley Point as well. So I just hope that gives you a sense of, you know, what these vacancies actually are. And these are, you know, these are live today. We've only just sort of pulled this together, so it's real time. That hasn't been released anywhere else. And what we would like to do is, if there's any way we can share that document more widely with Midas colleagues and the supply chain, we'd really welcome, you know, colleagues on the call today to make sure that document is shared. Because what we've done, for example, you know, Doug being a point of contact from Kier, we're just trying to make it super easy for people to find their way in, not going through sort of convoluted recruitment processes. We're actually just trying to kind of get people connected to that decision maker as easily as possible. So do use that as a tool for your job seeking opportunities. And if myself, Dawn, Elena can help you locally on the ground, you know, do give us a shout if we can unlock some of that for you. Dawn.
Thanks, Emma, and thank you to everybody who pulled that together, because it's a fantastic list and we hope it'll be really useful. And I just wanted to mention, if anyone is in Exeter today, pop into Exeter Works, because they have a dedicated construction resources and help available to you. A number of people who are on the call today will actually be in Exeter Work, and some recruitment agencies. And also to highlight that we do have a jobs fair in Exeter on the 22nd of March at the Corn Exchange. So please come and see us there.
Thank you, Dawn, and thanks for running through that. That document is hugely valuable, hopefully, and as you say, it provides a lot of hope, to be honest, because there's a huge amount of opportunity there, and employers will be desperate to get in touch with people and get their skills within their business. So I think it's hugely encouraging for everyone, hopefully. I don't think we've got any questions on the message board. There's a bit more information that people have been posting on there, so hopefully people have had the opportunity to sort of read through that. Is there anything from any of the speakers that they want to sort of raise before we conclude the event?
No, that's great. Thank you, Doug.
Okay, lovely.
I guess it's, you know, hopefully you know who we are, and you know, we want to support you. Come forward, whether it's a face-to-face, whether it's a coffee, a glass of wine, a phone call. You know, we are here to help you, and you know, the evidence of the job vacancies available, you are in high demand, and I suspect, you know, you will be able to secure positive next steps really quickly, and I wish you well for that. And if there's anything we can do collectively, or if you think there's a follow-on activity to this, you know, if you think some kind of engagement directly with employers might be useful, let us know. We're really aware that you're all kind of geographically in different places, so it's hard to go, or here's a Midas event everyone can come to. But we are welcome, you know, we're open to do some follow-up activity if that's useful. And I guess the other thought is about the supply chain, because I don't think we've had supply chain members here. I might have missed somebody, but again, if you come across individuals that actually would benefit from just engaging with any of us, then do feel free to share that resource link that you'll be provided with a bit later. So, and we want to get that vacancy list out sort of loud and proud, and, you know, help people make those contact points. So any ideas you've got for different channels, kind of do let us know. But thank you, and thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Emma. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you to all the speakers as well for bringing that together. It's a bit of a one-stop shop of all the different information and access to help that's there. So it's, I think, hopefully really useful as a reference tool. And as we said earlier, this will be sent out to on the networks. It'll be on the Building Greater Exeter website, and you'll also get an email for those that joined today with links to the presentation and the recording. So please do share that amongst others. There's probably people who haven't got IT access potentially and those sorts of things. So please print things off and pass it around to people to provide that support. And you know, reflecting everyone's views today, is we're here to help, and we look forward to seeing you all getting back into employment soon. I'm sure you will, and we wish you all good luck in that process. So thank you everyone. Thanks to Plymouth Building Greater Exeter and Build Torbay for heading up the event, and everyone else for supporting. And hope you all have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good luck, everybody.
Thanks,